Welcome to episode three, three of Ranking of Video Game Movies, where we will be talking about Mortal Kombat from 1995, the movie. I'm here with Colton and Kudrow, and we're gonna, run through this movie and let you know what our thoughts are on it and give you the rundown. So, I guess before I start, do you guys have anything you want to say before I get into it?
Mortal Kombat in a yelling voice.
Right. Fatality. So I'll just start off with a summary and then I'll kind of go into a more detailed run of kind of the plot line of the movie. So the Emperor of Outworld has his sights set on conquering the realm of Earth, but in order to do so, he has to win 10 straight ancient Mortal Kombat tournaments. The Emperor's sorcerer, Shang Tsung, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know.
Correct. Shang Tsung.
Yep.
You got it.
They pronounced it. Shang Tsung has led Outworld's forces to 9 straight victories. The only thing standing between Earth and the Emperor's evil forces are 3 humans. Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang,
Okay.
who was only at the tournament to kill Shang Tsung for the murder of his brother. Sonia Blade, a law enforcement officer who was lured to the ship under the pretense of catching her partner's killer. And Johnny Cage, an egotistical movie star who the press has dubbed as a fake and is only at the tournament as a way to prove himself. It will be up to Lord Raiden. Okay. To teach his 3 warriors to look deep inside themselves to find the ability to beat Shang Tsung and save the realm of Earth from devastation. So you can kind of see how familiar I am with the games. I've never really played the games, so I don't know the pronunciations that well, but yeah. So to get into it, this Mortal Kombat is like a tournament that is used to conquer worlds, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So the Emperor uses it, and he's chosen Earth. And like I had said before, this is the 10th tournament to essentially take over Earth. And
right. Then he can enter the realm essentially by
right.
winning the 10 tournaments.
Right. So it kind of starts off with Shang Tsung, who we don't really know much about, killing this boy, who turns out to be Liu Kang's younger brother, who we come to find out has like essentially left his temple or his organization.
Yeah, he's a Shaolin monk, I believe,
Right.
according to the lore. So he like
Shaolin
turned his
monk.
back, went to America.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the movie kind of introduces us to these three fighters. So it introduces to Liu Kang, and then it introduces us to Sonya Blade, who's like on the hunt for his name Kano.
Yeah, the guy with the laser eye.
Right, the laser eye. Doesn't he have something strapped into his chest in the video games too, like something metal or something like that?
I think maybe in the later games he does. I don't remember if he does in the early games.
Okay.
But
fun fact: the actress that was supposed to play Sonya Blade was actually supposed to be Cameron Diaz.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Apparently, that like she had to like get rid of the role or something. She got hurt or something like that, so they had to bring her up in a backup that really quickly. So
I wonder why they thought that would. I don't know. I don't foresee that going well, but maybe with the tone of this movie, it actually would have worked out great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting considering the character arc of Sonya. I think they did her dirty, in my opinion, but
yeah, at the end, definitely.
Yeah, she ends up falling into that maiden in distress.
Damsel in distress,
right?
Yeah,
Damsel in distress, exactly. But yeah, so we get introduced to all of them. We get introduced to Sonya, then we get introduced to Johnny Cage, who's on set, and then he, fights a bunch of dudes, and then he walks off the set because he sees like his ego is like, I'm too good for this. Like, this is BS. Like, I don't need to do this, as the director is pleading for him to come back to set for whatever reason. And then I think Luke, no, not Luke King.
So, so in the beginning, they're all getting invited to the tournament, and so
Right.
when Johnny Cage walks off set, he's mad because um, basically the media is saying he's like a fake,
A fake, yeah.
but in reality, he's a great martial artist. So that's what he's
Right.
upset about. And then you have Shang Tsung, who's basically because Shang Tsung can transform into other people essentially. So he was
Mhm.
pretending to be his like agent, and that's how he got the invitation to the tournament.
Right. And so then they all meet in Hong Kong at Pier 40.
Right for the
Yeah, and Johnny Cage has all his luggage and stuff like that. So he like offers money to Liu Kang to like put his luggage on the boat, and then Liu Kang throws it off the dock. And then Sonya kind of gets tricked onto the boat, following
Kano.
Kano. I don't know why
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. Kano.
Kano with his allegedly Australian accent.
Right.
You know what
He's
was? You know what's funny about that? Because I was reading, apparently, because I don't think Kano was originally
Yeah,
Australian
but
in the
after this
No, he
games.
movie,
wasn't.
they made it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was reading an article about a few of the characters. They essentially took some of what the characters did in the movie and translated it into the video games after. So they like
right.
they took some stuff from the movie because they're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Like, we can use that, and then they
Mhm.
use that to form their characters in the video game, which I thought was kind of cool.
Mhm.
But anyway, they get on the boat, and then the three find out that Shang Tsung is there, and we, as the audience, you don't really like understand like what's going on that well. I don't know. To me, they don't like
Yeah, they don't really tell
bring
you. They're
forth.
just kind of
Yeah,
on the boat, and then Johnny Cage even mentions something about all the weird shit going on.
Mhm.
But yeah, at this point, if you don't intricately understand what Mortal Kombat is, then yeah, it hasn't really told you yet. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but yeah, you don't exactly know what's happening.
yeah. I wouldn't say it's the best storytelling because you kind of just get bits and pieces, and they're not really like transitioned together very well.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah,
kind of like separate scenes that
right.
happen
Yeah, it
throughout the
shows you
movie.
all the characters, but then it just kind of force fits them all into this like setting where they're going to the
Right.
tournament.
Mhm.
Right. So then we're also introduced. Well, I guess earlier we were introduced to the god of thunder. Um, I'm blanking on his name.
Raiden. Yeah, that
Raiden.
when
Yeah,
yeah, he
whatever
was
it is.
there. Right, he was there for to see Liu Kang earlier in the movie, and then he
Right at
shows
the
up on the
temple.
boat because Shang Tsung shows up with Scorpion and Sub Zero, and then Raiden comes in to basically prevent them from getting potentially attacked by
Like
those two.
cheating, essentially.
Yeah,
Is like Raiden
Mhm.
is like the good guy referee that's like preventing
yeah.
Shang Tsung from like rigging the game or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. Raiden seemed kind of weird as a character to me. Is like, I don't know, something about like the way he
The
talked and like
the
his
acting
like
of it, you're saying?
appearance. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. His acting is like I I don't know, but I think he might be my favorite character in the movie. Like it's something about the way that where the tone of the movie ends up, I don't think they were going for, but somehow Raiden's weird acting like works for it, like in its just kind of fits
Right.
into it for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's another thing I heard from that same article is they took some stuff from his acting and
Oh,
like
okay.
his character into the games as well. So
I gotcha.
kind of interesting. But yeah, so he's kind of like the referee that's like keeping um the game fair, essentially, keeping
Mhm,
it um above the belt, so to
mhm.
say. So they end up, like you said, he stops Sub Zero and Scorpion from, I would think, killing them on the
Right.
boat.
Mhm.
Um, Sorry, the dog's like
Right.
leaking in her bed. Yeah, so they stop Scorpion Sub-Zero, and then they make it to the island,
Mhm.
and then that's kind of where you find out what's going on. Is they have this like feast, and then they're introduced to the concept of Mortal Kombat by not Liu Kang, Shang Tsung,
Mhm.
and you kind of see a fight between one of the grunts, I
Yeah.
guess you call them,
Yeah.
and is it Scorpion? I think, right?
Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero freezes
Sub-Zero,
the
yeah.
guy that.
Yes, he freezes. Yeah, he freezes him, and then
Yep.
his hot head like pops off or whatever.
Yeah.
So that kind of all fizzles out, and we get kind of a foreshadowing of the big dude with 4 arms,
Yeah, Goro.
on his name, Goro,
Mhm.
and the queen.
Katana? The
Katana,
princess?
yeah,
Yeah.
or princess, yeah. Because he sends the reptilian thing to like watch her for
Yep.
whatever reason.
That one's an easy one. He's just called Reptile.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I
that
didn't
was
know
where
it was
you.
Reptile until
Right.
he turned into
Until it turns
Reptile.
into- right.
That was
So
kind of where the movie started showing its age, because that CGI is definitely rough by today's standards.
Reptile I feel like looked shitty in 1995, but I don't know.
yeah. What about Goro? So I saw stuff that was like, well, you compare
Yeah,
Goro to like Jaws at the time, like
yeah, right.
not at the time, but Jaws was a little earlier. But
Mhm.
I don't feel
same
like
sort of
Goro.
like
I don't know.
Not
I feel like Goro was better than Reptile, but
yeah.
maybe that's not saying that much.
Goro
I mean,
was
you had
less
the
Goro's like less irritating than Reptile, I guess, because he's just like a Reptile's just the bad CGI, so it kind of grating a little bit. I feel like it all plays into like where I call this like the term a B movie. Like it's got like the bad CGI and like the some of the cheesy scenes. But
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so we get the foreshadowing of those 2 characters, and then the 3 main characters follow Shang Tsung into his, I don't know, lair, his abode, and they kind of spy on him and talking to Kano.
Mhm.
And Kano's like, talking mad shit, being a piece of shit, I guess. I mean, that's kind of how they portrayed him, just a bad
Yeah.
guy. Like
Right. Yeah.
they did a good job, I think, with his character, honestly, like
Mhm.
portraying him the way they did. And then they're talking about like, be careful, like we need to win, obviously, and Goro's there, I believe, as well.
Mhm.
Um, and then they are leaving, and then it comes out that they were there, and then we get a nice little action sequence of them actually fighting for the first time. So
Pulls out
yeah,
the theme song for it too.
right.
Hmm.
I think that's my favorite part of the movie is the Mortal Kombat songs. Every Alice fights, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they fight like I think 3 of them or something like that,
Mhm.
and they beat 3 of them, and then Raiden comes and is like, "Good job, but how are you gonna beat this? This horde of grunts over here when they have all these like weapons and stuff like that?" And then he's like, "Okay, like we're leaving," and then they just leave.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. I thought that was a weird scene. He just kind of like flexes his muscles, and they're like, "Okay, we'll let you go."
Right. They're scared of Raiden.
Right.
He is God,
Um.
so I feel like it kind of makes
Right.
sense.
That's true. And this is where we kind of get into the weirdest part of the movie for me is just a bunch of just fighting scenes.
Yeah, right. It just
No interlocking.
cuts from like fight scene to fight scene for up till the end part of the movie now. This section of the
Right.
movie is literally just cut fight scene, fight scene, fight scene.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of buffer between Johnny Cage's fight with
Mm.
Goro.
Oh, he
Because they
says he
like,
has a plan.
right. Because it's like he fights that one black dude, Goro does, and, beats him, and they're all like
Oh yeah,
freaking out,
they're
like, what are we
friends.
going to
Yeah,
do?
right. And then Johnny Cage has a plan.
Right.
Goro has a WWE entrance, basically.
Right.
He really does.
That was like the death metal like fight was like that and right
Right?
before he fought the black dude, he's like beating everybody up. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine being one of those actors. Like, oh, you're dead guy number one that gets tossed into the stone.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Goro's just like the champion, right? He's like his
The previous champion.
the
Yeah.
previous champion, right?
Yeah. Because. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say before we get too far, there was some Johnny Cage fights Scorpion, which I think that was like the second fight of the sequence.
Yeah. So, well, there's Liu Kang fights Katana, right? Because Shang Tsung makes that happen, and they don't really fight each other. They basically it's used as a tool for them to talk to each other.
Right.
And then the fight you get after that,
I
you
thought it
get
was the dude with dreads first, and then Johnny Cage with Scorpion, and then Liu Kang.
Liu
You're,
Kang
you're
against
right.
Order.
yeah, right. Because Liu Kang fights Sub-Zero and uses water, like Katana told him to use an icicle to stab Sub-Zero.
Yeah, very conveniently,
he's-
Raiden just kind of placed the buckets of water right there before the fight.
Johnny Cage uses a shield to block Scorpion's fire breath fatality, and then kills him with the shield.
Right.
Yeah.
That was some interesting CGI as well, where he just cut him open and then he just starts like bleeding, and then
also then Scorpion explodes. Yeah. But so
I thought it was stupid how Sub-Zero dies by ice.
Yeah, he died by his own tool, right?
Yeah, but why would he freeze to death?
That's true. I don't know.
I don't know. That was weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the music though. The Mortal Kombat music was.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I didn't think it fit, but I thought it was great.
I
was like, oh yeah, this is a video game movie. I get it.
Right. So, and I guess after they like beat those people, Shang Tsung basically takes Sonya and claims he's challenging her, and then runs away with her to his Castle of Darkness or whatever you want to call it.
Right, in the Outworld.
Yeah.
Well, because as I recall,
it's in the other realm that was destroyed by the.
Yeah, so he takes her to Outworld.
I thought that was the Outworld.
Okay.
So, and the whole thing there was like because Johnny wanted to fight Goro to prevent Sonya from getting killed by him.
Mm-hmm.
So then he made the agreement with Shang Tsung. So it's like I fight Goro next, and then Shang Tsung was like, fine, but I choose the next fighter and place of the fight of my choosing.
Mm-hmm. Which seems weird why Johnny Cage would just agree to that, but
well, but I mean, he's got the hots for Sonia Blade, so men do stupid things for that reason.
It'd be obvious if he can just pick the next fighter. Like, okay, well then I'll just fight Sonya myself. But yeah, so he captures Sonya, and then then they chase after her and make their way up, and then it's the final fight between Liu Kang and Shang Tsung.
Well, I mean, you had the fight between Liu Kang and Reptile before that.
Reptile, right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I feel like he's kind of just. I feel like that was one of the most disappointing things about this movie. Like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile were kind. I mean, less so with Reptile, but they were kind of all three reduced to like mooks under Shang Tsung's control.
Right, they're just
no backstory. Scorpion's the only one that says something. And that's not even clear because it's like the weird like Mortal Kombat voice. Come here.
I think it's just Ed Boon doing the lines.
It's the actual guy doing the lines.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird how Reptile would he'd make human noises, but then also like reptilian noises.
Right.
It was like the actor was making noises that.
Yeah, that was weird. It was weird.
It was a good fight scene.
Yeah,
that was all right.
Yeah, then your final fight scene where he fights Shang Tsung and
Liu Kang does.
Yeah, and and then the spikes come up out of the logo on the bottom of the floor where they're fighting above, and Liu Kang gives him the overhead fire punch move and knocks him into the spikes, and then Shang Tsung is dead, and everybody's happy.
Right, releases all
Until the
souls.
cliffhanger / sequel hook.
Yeah, the cliffhanger.
Right,
Yeah, because
they're all gonna beat up the Emperor with their fists.
right.
It was like, well, Shang Tsung's dead. Here comes Shao Kahn.
Which renders the rest of the movie irrelevant, right? Like they won the tournament, and then Shao Kahn just is going to invade anyways.
Right.
I'm about to say, because I remember they explained that in the next movie, but I mean, I'll
Oh,
save that until then.
I did not remember that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the next movie is very, very forgettable.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think about this one?
I didn't think it was good, but the music was awesome. I don't know, something about the music of
I
them
don't-
fighting with the background music. I was like, hell yeah.
And I don't know if I'd call it good, but I would say it's like I like this movie, and it's super dumb, and it's very cheesy, but it's like it's not trying to like trick me into believing it's not stupid. So it's kind of like in on the thing. Like this is where Raiden's character acting comes in, and he's just like laughing at these humans. He's like, fuck you. But like I kind of get into that part of it. Maybe some of the fight scenes go on a little too long, where there's that long fight thing in the middle, and less of
Right.
the like. And that's why, to me, I feel like that's what it's like. What you call a B movie, like so much of the CGI and like acting can be cheesy, and it fits all those tropes of that kind of movie. But
It reminds me of a parody movie.
it's a parody of itself.
Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in you.
Oh no, that's all right. I think we can agree that I hope we can agree this is an S rank intro. The intro, the song and the intro, like how can that not be great?
That was good.
Yeah, definitely. You'll hear no arguments from me on that one.
Yeah, like
that intro is super memorable.
And they play it during the first fight scene. I'm like, fuck yeah, punch him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it was anything like crazy. Like you said, it kind of is what it is. Like it's not trying to be something over the top. To me, it's like it knows it's a video game movie, and it is a video game movie. It's not like, oh, we got to make this video game into like this some spectacular like movie or like quest or something like that. It's like we take everything that we can from the video game and we put it in the movie, and that's it. Like you kind of make it work with like the story, but they spent it seems like they spent like 5 minutes like coming up with like the plot of this movie, and then just we're like, okay, well, let's shoot all the scenes and we're good.
What if we had a bunch of fights like in the game?
Right.
I do like in the beginning the introductions of the characters. Like I like the way they introduce Liu Kang, Sonya, and Johnny Cage. Like I felt like that really fits well with their character. The scenes where it goes in and shows each one individually. Right. Beyond that, it gets a little forced, and it's like they're all on the boat, and that gets a little weird. And then like the CGI when they're going, and like Shang Tsung says it has begun, and like a skull CGI thing comes out of the sky, and they like travel through to the island. But yeah, like Sonya's intro, she says, "I trust one person on this planet." Jax, you're talking to her. Like, that's Sonya. That's a Sonya line. Johnny Cage, like, this is the part where you fall down. Those were $500 sunglasses, asshole. That's Johnny Cage. Then Liu Kang just being like a goon. like just oh man. I feel like those characters all fit very well. And I agree with you. I wish there was more to like the Scorpion Sub-Zero characters. Maybe just don't even put Reptile in the movie.
Yeah, he probably would have been better off not being in there, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, and he's like not different than Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Right.
Yeah, he's literally there for to fight. Like I feel like the one purpose that Shang Tsung had was, hey, watch Princess Kitana. It's like it didn't even really affect the plot at all.
Yeah, my wife Jessica said, "So what's Reptile's power?" I'm like, "Oh, he just turns into a reptile. that's his thing."
Well, he's supposed to spit acid, and that's supposed to be his thing. But like the one time you see him actually do that, he spits acid in like Liu Kang's face when he's like trying to catch Kitana in the cave. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna fall down for a minute, but I'm fine. No big deal.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research into like Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Reptile, and how like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are like rivals or whatever, which they did not even like touch on.
Well,
I just think there was
it's
no way to do that with the way they were like
right.
going about the movie. Like they're not going to get deep into side characters when they don't even go deep into the main characters. So it's just kind of how it had to be, I guess.
The new Mortal Kombat movie focuses extensively on that, the Sub-Zero Scorpion.
Okay.
But that's like
I was gonna say, didn't Scorpion like kill all or might get
other way around.
Other way around. Sub-Zero killed Scorpion's clan or whatever, or Scorpion killed Sub-Zero's clan. I don't know, something like that, right?
Sub-Zero killed Scorpion's family.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just don't know how you'd fit that in there in this movie. So.
There's a scene at the beginning, the scene where Sonia is going through the club, running around, and she shoots her gun, and then the guy on the stairway shoots his machine gun like 5 to 10 times. The people at the club behind them, no one gets shot, and everybody's unaffected by this gun stuff happening. I was just like, what?
It's 1995.
Yeah, no one cares. The club just keeps going like nothing happened.
Dude, this is Mortal Kombat. We all know fists are far stronger than bullets. Let's be honest.
Right. Raiden's initial introduction, you see his shadow. I thought that was a nice touch. Like if you know Mortal Kombat, it's like, oh shit, it's Raiden, and you just see his shadow through the. I thought that was cool. Sonya like comes up to Johnny Cage on the boat and demands to know where Kano is. Why would Johnny Cage know where Kano is? I wasn't sure what was going on there.
They're both men.
They make a couple comments on like the culture of the world in different parts. Shang Tsung goes on about how in the world people like Kano, with his like terrible, dishonorable self, can amass wealth and power. And then there's one other spot where they made like a cutting comment to society. Where he comes back to the temple and the Shaolin monks are like, American life has feebled his mind.
Yeah.
Watches too much TV.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like outside of those 3 characters plus Shang Tsung, I guess, and Raiden, okay, so those 5, like a lot of the other characters are just like Katana. Like Katana's there, but she barely does anything, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't feel like you get a lot out of those other characters. Maybe they don't have the time to, but it's just like they put them all there, and some of them kind of get left behind.
She's the bench player. She's
a
substitute for Raiden.
But
I feel like I remember Kitana doing a lot more in the next movie, but here, yeah, she doesn't do that much. Goro, I mean, he's kind of just a big goon to build drama. Though one thing I will say about like the Goro, the Kano, and the Shang Tsung, those like they're like just how much they're so hammy. Like
Yeah,
they overact like every moment they're on
right.
screen.
That's a B movie trait right there. That's like what.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
like how using the B movie is a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not always a bad thing. I guess what I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
is, I think it is a good thing. It's like a movie that is not trying to be like it's almost like the movie's in on the thing, and it like the movie is
Okay.
just being what it is, and it's
Got,
like
gotcha, gotcha.
it's because it's not. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's like this like really awesome, like really super high quality thing, but it's like it lives in this zone that's below like high quality and just
Right.
like works with what it has to because a lot of movies with like lower like quality like graphics and stuff, they're just terrible all around and there's nothing redeeming, whereas like this one I feel like it works with that well somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't really take itself too seriously, and that really plays to its benefit.
Yeah, if it tried to take itself seriously it'd be bad, I think.
Hmm.
Right. I wonder if that's like the problem of a lot of video game movies. Is like this one is like we know we're a video game movie. We're just gonna put
Yeah,
a bunch of video game shit in this movie, and that's it. Like we're not gonna try and go over the top.
right.
Like it is what it is, and they're not going for anything special. So,
Wait till you watch Super Mario Bros.
oh yeah,
um so
I'm ready.
uh
Ready for this, I think.
Yeah. Oh, another
Unless you
note:
have more.
The Mortal Kombat album from this movie went platinum in the United States.
Oh,
So
did it?
yeah,
That's fantastic.
they had a lot of other popular music from the time too, but still
I was
cool.
gonna say, did you guys like listen to this music on the radio? I wasn't born yet, so.
Wow, you were wow. The other thing we should talk about Sonya at the end. Sonya becoming a damsel in distress after like killing Kano and being like a fighter. They just turn her into like the oh, I'm gonna capture this weak female here. So come
And
rescue.
Terrible.
and then to make it even like to add insult to injury on that one, then they put her like they changed
Yeah,
her
they changed
outfit
it
into
up.
this skimpy dress.
Like
Right, and they like change her hair and then put the lipstick on, and like, oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the worst thing about this movie.
that was a weird like it's like wait, what? Weren't you supposed to be fighting her?
Yeah. Well, apparently, like they had this caveat that's like Sonia has to agree
Right.
to the
But
fight.
even before she rejected it, she was already in that outfit, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
she
which
wearing out that outfit? Like,
I don't know. That didn't make any sense.
yeah,
Other than to just really hammer home the fact that remember how she was kicking butt earlier in the movie? Yeah, she's
right,
a damsel in distress now.
right. All right, I'm ready to rank it.
Let's do it.
Do you guys want me to go first? Does anybody have a hot ranking ready to go?
I can go.
All right, go for it.
I'm between a D and a C.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the C though, because I think you should watch it, but don't expect greatness. Like it's just it is what it is, like we've been saying. So yeah, I think C is a good ranking, especially for video game movies. It does its job. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Does its job. I it is lacking in a lot of departments of like CGI graphics and it's cheesy, but I had fun with it. It's a fun thing to watch. C plus. Um C plus. I yeah, I think it's worth like seeing and watching, and I think it's like a fun time to watch.
Hmm.
Like I think it can be a fun movie to watch. So I'll go with C plus.
I was honestly expecting a lower ranking from you, Colton.
Yeah, it might not deserve that ranking. This could just be my bias of playing Mortal Kombat as a child, but to me, it like still is a fun time, and it realizes what it is. It's not like trying to put like morals into me and like a shitty wrapping and like force things. It's just out there being Mortal Kombat, and I like it.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, I kind of go the same way though. I think it's a C. I feel like this is another one of those movies where it's like, enjoy some popcorn, enjoy the overacting, enjoy the cheesiness.
See, now I feel like you're trying to say it's the same as Uncharted, and
I mean, like, this is a C, but it's for different reasons than Uncharted.
all right. Let's get our ranking screen up here. So it sounds like we all gave it a C. So I would like to nominate it to go in the C tier above Uncharted.
Above Uncharted.
Yeah, I mean, Uncharted was a bad movie. This is a good movie. It's like, wait.
I don't know if I can endorse this movie as better than Uncharted, but
Yeah, I don't know if it's better than Uncharted.
I mean, it's so much more fun than Uncharted. Okay, what if we put it in the B tier?
I do not endorse
I don't want
that.
it. I don't want it to be tier. I guess I can concede. I guess I'll concede. If Cujo can concede.
If we're looking at average rankings, then yeah, it's better because Colton hated Uncharted. But
Right.
so I mean,
all right,
fine.
It sure sounds like it's better than Uncharted to me.
On aggregate, I guess.
I'm looking at this purely from the average, not opinion.
Well, they are both in the C tier. So Mortal Kombat and Uncharted in the C tier. Mortal Kombat gets a C in the ranking of